Welcome back to Planfirst Live. We're going to be talking about colour trends for next year. I'm Sian Larkin and I'm the manager for design services at Planfirst Design, where we specialise in architectural, interior and landscaping design. My guest with me today is Amy Watkins.
I am the commercial colour consultant for Resene. I work alongside the architectural and specifier services, with basically giving colour and paint specification advice to interior designers as well as architects. But I also work with the project services team, offering commercial colour help for body corporates and your large scale commercial buildings. So the upcoming colour trends for the leading trends in 2026, how we get these trends is we work alongside a company called CMG, which does a lot of researching of global trends.
How do the global trends differ from local trends here in New Zealand?
So when it comes to the kind of global palette, people are typically, and especially in Europe and even America, they like to use the more highly saturated colours. Whereas within New Zealand, we're a bit more of a conservative nature. So within that, you've got your kind of four leading trends. You've got your kind of down to earth, coastal canvas, the Protopia, and the Cherish. First, we've got what's known as the Cherish collection. So this is your warm memory based. With the pink palette, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to immerse ourselves in the colour and do colour drenching, which is when you have colours on both the walls and the ceiling. And then you've got this kind of bolder approach. So the Protopia is all about having rich, high intensity, purpley reds. Because it's a mixture of the red and the purple, the slight purple hue in it allows for that restful, whereas a true red such as Resene Red Hot, I wouldn't recommend putting in a bedroom because it's a hyperactive colour. Whereas as soon as you're going into even a living room or a bedroom, you're wanting something that's got a slight cool colour hue in it. So that's your green, your blue, your purple. It immediately softens the colour, creates this restful colour tone. And we're seeing this getting used a lot in the bedrooms because it's a way of adding a little bit of luxury. So if you're not feeling confident enough to chuck it on your walls, why not throw in some cushions or a bedspread or even a rug? That will then emphasise this colour trend of the Protopia. And then with the third trend, this one's very much a safe haven for New Zealanders as a whole. So the Coastline Canvas is all about your deep blue green. The key difference with the 2026 of the Coastline Canvas is introducing something with a little bit more of the blue base opposed to the green. So colours like Resene Deep Teal, Coast, and even something a little bit lighter like the forest green. Now, where you kind of are using these colours, these are both universal for interior and exterior of the homes.
As I'm looking at this image, well, it's both blue colours, but they are totally different.
And within that, within each of those respective images, there's actually 3 blues per image. And then the extension of that, you've got this kind of down to earth. So this is one where you start to bring in a bit more of your neutral palette. So you've still got your accent colours of your warmer greens, but in the past, we've used a lot of olive-based greens. This time, we're taking it further into more of a pastel hue. So we're wanting it a bit more softer. And it's all about layering, bringing in more the warmer based of the neutral palettes. And then we've got your layered textures. So this is all about creating that kind of movement in your walls. It creates movement, it feels soft, it feels inviting. And the key thing with all of these different colour trends in 2026, they are all wanting that comfort. So with every single one of these styles, it's all about making sure that your home is giving you that sense of comfort. And the nice thing is with this kind of layered textured look that's become, you can really make it your own. So Resene loves to push the boundaries of colour. We like to make sure that we're leading the charge, and within that, it's getting that balance of, okay, we're going to push you a little bit further and make you fall in love with this colour, such as Resene Soul Searcher.
When mixing bold and neutral colours, what can we do to make it not overwhelming?
So it's all about making sure that we're layering the undertones in a harmonious way. So if you've got a bold colour that you're going to use, what is the undertone within that colour? We want to make sure that we're choosing a neutral that's a complementary, whether it's that direct complementary, meaning it's sitting opposite on the colour wheel, that way it's going to intensify the colour, or potentially it's a more of a monochromatic approach where we're taking a colour hue and softening it.
So where do you start, with an accent colour or with a neutral?
It completely depends on the space and the client as to what it is.
Have you had customers in the past that just keep changing their mind because they don't like what the paint looks like at sunset?
100%, in particular with the greys, because New Zealanders do like this kind of mixture of the dustier hues. In the evening is going to look completely different to the middle of the day, and I know of one client that just was not happy and kept changing, but they weren't looking at it in the evening until it was already painted.
Are these trends more about style, comfort, or the way we want our homes to feel?
So it completely depends on what the client is wanting to achieve, but within that it is a bit of both style and comfort.
Do you have ideas for using these palettes in smaller spaces like bathrooms, kitchens, or hallways?
I'm a huge fan of colour drenching, and it's a very popular trend at the moment. So colour drenching is when you're taking a highly pigmented saturated colour and taking it on both the walls and the ceiling, and especially doing that in a bathroom.
And then question from my side is, are there different colour trends for commercial, residential, outdoor spaces, or how do you determine
if it's going into a commercial setting what it is going to be used for? So residential homes, you do have the flexibility of the client's the only limit, or is it going for a resale, or is this someone's forever home? Whether is we've got brand colours that we've got to work for, or is it going to be more of an apartment where you've got body corporates, where people are taking pride in it and wanting to have it look a certain way? So it really does come down to the clients.
How do you keep colours neutral throughout the different seasons?
So when you're going into these deeper colours, you're typically wanting them used in those kind of cooler months, so your autumn and your winter, because it does give you that feeling of warmth. So let's own the fact and paint it all in the dark colour, but also it comes into play as to what you're using that space for. So if you've got a formal living space, potentially that, even if it's on the northern side of the house, having that in a darker colour because it's a TV room or it's a nice reading nook, having the deeper, more saturated hued colours gives you that feeling of comfort and warmth, and therefore it's that nice relaxing colour tone.
So what would your advice be to a homeowner that wants to repaint their house and they don't know where to start?
Going for a walk down the street. That's a great first step because you'll immediately go, I like that one, I don't like that one. And it gives you a bit of a starting point when it comes to interiors, creating a bit of a mood board. So going on your Pinterest, your Instagram and saving things. So it's all about taking those first steps and doing research, but mood boards is a great tool to start off with. And if there's a new build or a extension or a renovation happening, bring in some plans, because then we'll have an idea of how the light's going to transfer and how dark you can go in a room.
So we will be back on the 14th of January, And then we will be looking at global trends for architecture, interiors, and landscaping for next year. Happy holidays to you all, and we'll be back next year on the 14th of January.